Everybody knows the housing market is going crazy in San Francisco. Apartments are running for a shit ton, and new luxury condos are being built everywhere. There's been a land grab as developers snatch up the few remaining plots of land left in the Mission. There's only about 326 lots left that you can still build on. Recently, over 1,000 Mission residents came to City Hall to demand that politicians do something to save the Mission. The supervisor of the Mission, David Campos, has introduced legislation called the Mission Luxury Housing Moratorium. Here's what it does. It draws a line around the Mission and says, you can't build any more luxury condos here for 1 year. If you want to build affordable housing, go for it. But $1 million condos have got to wait until we figure out how to handle all this housing crisis bullshit. Campos wants the city to take a year to buy as much land in the Mission as it can. Then he wants to build affordable housing on it. The supervisor of the Castro, Scott Wiener, a man made famous for banning nudity in San Francisco, hates this plan. He says it's supply and demand, stupid, and calls Campos a supply and demand denialist. Wiener thinks that if you build enough luxury condos for the rich, then they won't need to take the cheaper apartments that poor people can afford. Campos says this is just trickle-down economics, and that Wiener is possessed by the ghost of Ronald Reagan. He says that if you need affordable housing, then we need to build affordable housing. And if we don't start buying land in the Mission now, there won't be any left to build affordable on in a year or two. Listen, it's all about land. Here are the numbers. There are only 324 lots of developable land left in the Mission. Only 140 of these sites are big enough to actually have affordable unit requirements. Developers can build, on average, around 28 units of housing on each site. That's a total of 3,898 possible units, all of which will almost certainly be luxury condos. Developers are supposed to include affordable units in every project, but because of loopholes in the law, less than 12% of units being built are affordable to middle-class and lower-income people. So that means if we follow Scott Wiener's plan of no limits on luxury housing, in the best-case scenario, we only end up with 468 units of affordable housing. The mayor and his Office of Housing have said that we need to build 2,500 units of affordable to house Mission residents that are being displaced. So 468 units is just not going to cut it. Scott Wiener's plan is both bad policy and bad math. I'm with Campos on this one. Trickle-down economics was bullshit when Reagan made it up, and it's bullshit now. We need to take action, and a 1-year pause for luxury housing isn't going to hurt anyone. A moratorium in the Mission just makes sense. If you support a pause in luxury housing in the Mission, then share this video.